Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to today's Change of Command ceremony. Today, Lieutenant General Stephen R. Lanza will change command of 1st Corps with Lieutenant General Gary J. Volesky. On the field before you are the units participating in today's ceremony. Composed of division, regimental, brigade, group, and battalion commanders, unit colors and soldiers assigned to 1st Corps and Joint Base Lewis McChord. Also participating are commanders and colors from around the Pacific. 1st Corps Forward, stationed at Camp Zama, Japan. 25th Infantry Division, stationed at Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. And the United States Army Alaska, stationed at Fort Richardson, Alaska. 1st Corps and Joint Base Lewis McChord would like to recognize our distinguished guests for today's ceremony. Please hold your applause until the end. General Robert B. Abrams, Commanding General of U.S. Army Forces Command. Command Sergeant Major Scott Schroeder, Command Sergeant Major, U.S. Army Forces Command. Beth Corelli, wife of the former Vice Chief of Staff of the Army. Retired General Carter Ham, former commander of U.S. Africa Command. Miss Joan Shalakashvili, retired Lieutenant General Howard Stone and his wife Helen. Retired Lieutenant General Bill Harrison. Mayor J.W. Foster from Yelm. Mayor Don Anderson from Lakewood. Mayor Andy Ryder from Lacey. Mayor Pete Komet from Tumwater. Mayor Michael Kortz from DuPont and his wife Robbie. Mayor Ron Lucas from Steilacoom and his wife Jan. Retired Major General Jimmy Collins, civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army and his wife Linda. Retired Brigadier General Seelock and the civilian aide to the Secretary of the Army and his wife Donna. Korean Consul General Ducko Moon in Seattle. Japanese Consul General Masahiro Omura in Seattle. Major General Hiroyuki Nakamura from Ground Self-Defense Force Research and Development Command. Major General Brett Daughtry, Adjutant General for the State of Washington. Major General Charles Flynn, Deputy Commanding General, U.S. Army Pacific. Mr. Will Wills from Senator Cantwell's office. Kiera Pfeiffer for Senator Patty Murray. Mr. Raoul Van der Loot, Congressional Staffer for Congressman Denny Heck. Retired Brigadier Doug Richardson, Pierce County Council Chairman. Mr. Bruce Damier, Pierce County Council Executive. Retired Major General Ken Farmer and his wife Pat. Retired Major General J.B. Taylor and his wife Sally. Retired Major General Thomas Cole and his wife Dottie. Retired Major General Don Brown and his wife Joan. Retired Major General Edward Trubaugh. Retired Major General John Hemphill and his wife Peggy. Miss Mary Findlay. Retired Command Sergeant Major James Norman and his wife Jay. Our local civilian Hall of Fame honorees, Mr. Dick Murray. Retired Command Sergeant Major Herb Schmeling. Mr. John Caulfield. Miss Tamara Jenkins and her husband Clint. Miss Amy Tiemeyer. Retired Chief Warrant Officer Mike Fried. Brigadier General Bertram Providence, Commanding General of Regional Health Command Pacific. Brigadier General Wallace Turner, Assistant Adjutant General from the State of Washington. Brigadier General John Jensen, Commanding General, 34th Infantry Division, and retired Brigadier General Oscar Hillman and his wife Patty. Please give a round of applause for all of our distinguished guests. Music today is provided by the 1st Corps Band, the heartbeat of America's Corps. The 56th Army Band is commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 4 Russell J. Hauser, and the drum major is Sergeant First Class Philip Andrew. The salute battery is from Alpha Battery, 1st Battalion, 37th Field Artillery Regiment, and is under the direction of 1st Lieutenant Matthew C. Higgins and Sergeant First Class Andrew K. Hudman. The reviewing officer for today's ceremony is General Robert B. Abrams, Commanding General for the United States Army Forces Command. The host commander is Lieutenant General Stephen R. Lanza, Commanding General of 1st Corps. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Colonel Joseph D. Warrow, Chief of Staff for 1st Corps. The 1st Corps Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Michael A. Grenston. Please direct your attention to the VIP seating area. At this time, Staff Sergeant Brenton Raby and Sergeant First Class Sheena Blake from the Sergeant Audie Murphy Club are presenting a bouquet of flowers to Madeline Lanza as a token of appreciation from the soldiers of 1st Corps for her support to America's Corps over the last 3 years. Flowers are also being presented to General Lanza's mother Marie, Aunt Laura, and goddaughter Karen. Sergeant First Class Connie Vaughn and Staff Sergeant Timothy Perko, also from the Sergeant Audie Murphy Club, are presenting bouquets of flowers to Leanne Volesky, welcoming her to 1st Corps. Also being presented flowers are General Volesky's mother-in-law, Joan Schleiman, Major General Volesky's sister, Renee Grochowski, and Major General Volesky's friend, Barbara Eplin. Being presented coins are Major General Volesky's father-in-law, Dale Schleiman, Major General Volesky's brother, Steve Volesky, Major General Volesky's brother-in-law, David Schleiman, Major General Volesky's brother-in-law, Greg Grochowski, and Major General Volesky's friend, Terry Tanaka. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation given by the 1st Corps Chaplain, Chaplain Yvonne Hudson.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we invite you to place your seal upon today's ceremony. We stand ready to win our nation's wars because of your overwatch and Lieutenant General Lanza's leadership. We thank you for Madeline and Raymond's continued sacrifice and support for our community. We ask that you bless the Lanzas as they begin their new journey. As the torch of leadership is passed to Lieutenant General Volesky, we ask you to grant him wisdom, strength, and courage. With his vision and direction, we will continue to maintain our standard of excellence. We welcome Leanne and Alex into our family and ask that you create a home for them in America's Corps. As always, merciful God, remember and protect our service members who are deployed throughout the globe. Safely bring them home. Keep our families strong. In your name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. In just a moment, you will hear the adjutant direct the bugler to sound attention as today's ceremony begins.
Sound attention! Sound adjutant's call!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and honors. Honors authorized for General Abrams are being rendered to the soldiers and families of 1st Corps.
Sound, present arms.
At this time, the reviewing party will proceed to the position of the Commander of Troops, where the Commander of Troops will escort them to begin the inspection of troops. The first American Army Corps, 1st Corps, was officially created in 1918. Its divisions were the first units of the American Expeditionary Force to land in France and fought in the Aisne Marne Offensive, attack on Saint-Mihiel salient, and finally, the Meuse-Argonne Offensive in World War I. 1st Corps was demobilized at Tonnery, France in March 1919. First Corps was reactivated at Columbia, South Carolina in 1940. In the winter of 1942, First Corps won the first Allied victory over the Japanese on New Guinea, for which it earned the Distinguished Unit Citation. The Corps launched amphibious assaults at Papao in 1944 and later occupied the Philippines. After the war, the First Corps remained in Japan until 1950, when it was inactivated. First Corps was reactivated in August of 1950 at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and departed for the Pusan perimeter. The Corps broke out to link up with United Nations forces near Incheon, then drove past Seoul, almost to the Yalu River. After the Chinese entry into the war, First Corps counterattacked and participated in heavy fighting back and forth across the 38th parallel, until the armistice was signed 27 July 1953. After the armistice, First Corps again became an occupational force controlling U.S., United Nations, and Republic of Korea units in Western Korea. First Corps remained in Korea until 1980, when its colors were transferred to Fort Lewis, Washington. Elements of First Corps supported Operation Desert Storm in 1992 and Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2005. The Corps headquarters made history in spring 2009 when it deployed to Baghdad and assumed duties as Multinational Corps Iraq. With the recent completion of another Middle East tour as the International Security Assistance Force Joint Command Headquarters in Afghanistan, First Corps added yet another chapter to its long history of service to the nation.
Sound, attention. Sound, officers and colors, center, march. Detachment, forward, halt! Mark time, halt! Detachment, halt! Sir, the colors are present. Present the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem.
Present arms. Detachment, preset, halt!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Detachment, order, halt!
The change of
Order arms and parade, rest.
The change of command ceremony is a simple traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The key to the change of command is the passing of the unit colors. These colors represent not only the heritage and the history of the unit, but also the unity and loyalty of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there also are the colors. The custodian of the colors is the Command Sergeant Major. As the senior enlisted soldier in 1st Corps, Command Sergeant Major Grinston is both the spokesperson for the loyalty and concerns of the soldiers and a principal advisor to the commander. Ladies and gentlemen, by authority of Army Regulation 600-20, paragraph 2-5 Charlie, the undersigned assumes command of 1st Corps, effective 3 April 2017. Signed, Gary J. Volesky, Lieutenant General Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commanding General of United States Army Forces Command, General Robert B. Abrams.
Okay, good morning. Okay, Sergeants Major, work with me. Unseat your colors. Sergeant Major Grinston, help me out. Everybody else on the field, rest. Shake it out. Keep it down to a low murmur. Good morning and welcome to the soldiers, families, and friends of 1st Corps gathered here on this beautiful day, Joint Base Lewis McChord, in the shadow of Mount Rainier. I'm going to take full credit for the weather. When I left Fort Bragg yesterday, it was 75, clear blue sky. Most people were wearing shorts. So we're not quite there yet here, but this is pretty good weather. Special welcome and thank you to our foreign dignitaries that are here present today, all of the wonderful supportive mayors from the surrounding area, the numerous other distinguished guests, active and retired general officers and their spouses, as well as other esteemed community leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored to have you all with us. Today we assemble to bid farewell to a great Army family, Lieutenant General Steve and Madeline Lanza, and welcome another great Army family, Lieutenant General Gary and Leanne Volesky. It is a special day for these two outstanding soldiers and their families, America's Corps, and most importantly, a special day for the soldiers, airmen, civilians, and families stationed here at JBLM. 1st Corps is extremely well represented before us by soldiers from across the entire Corps, as well as every unit stationed on JBLM. 1st Corps Color Guard, the Salute Battery from Alpha Battery 137 Field Artillery, and the 56th Army Band. You look impressive, you sound terrific, and you add real pageantry to this special event. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in a round of applause for these great soldiers. U.S. Army Forces Command #1 priority is maximizing unit readiness. Accordingly, our strategy is designed to prepare our units for the crucible of ground combat in the ever-evolving complex operational environments of today and the future. This is a difficult task. Fortunately, our Army is good, really good. In fact, it's the best Army I've seen in my 35 years of service, with some of the best leaders and soldiers that we've ever produced. 1st Corps is chock full of these types of soldiers and leaders in high-performing outfits, and I'm honored to be with them today and have the opportunity to officiate at this ceremony. I want to acknowledge my battle buddy and friend, General Bob Brown, Commanding General, U.S. Army Pacific, who wanted to be here today, but is recovering from extensive knee surgery. But he passed along his regards to all of you here today, shared a few thoughts about 1st Corps and Steve Lanza in particular that I've incorporated in my remarks. 1st Corps has been the critical headquarters for our nation's rebalance to the Pacific over the last few years. The Corps has become an outstanding operational level headquarters in a region that spans 52% of the Earth's surface and contains 4 of the 5 major security challenges our nation faces. As the only regionally aligned Corps in the Army, 1st Corps deployed the headquarters for numerous exercises in Japan, Korea, and Australia, which increased bilateral relations with the nation's Pacific partners and reinforced the United States' commitment to the defense of our Pacific allies. An extensive exercise regime has achieved unparalleled excellence, demonstrating deterrence and a real commitment to our allies and partners. The Corps headquarters has been certified as a joint task force and has in fact become the go-to headquarters of choice for U.S. Pacific Command. 1st Corps is a leader in Pacific partnerships, incorporating American forces across the entire Pacific Ocean to enhance stability and security in this area of responsibility and to sustain global responsiveness. No three-star headquarters in our Army, and I mean none, is better prepared to fight tonight when called upon. Not only is the Corps headquarters ready, the entire Corps is ready. The entire team of teams, including the 7th Infantry Division, the 25th Infantry Division, the 593rd ESC, U.S. Army Alaska, and all the others represented on the field. They have been immersed in high training tempo to be ready to fight tonight and win. Expertly leading this Corps and Joint Base has been Lieutenant General Steve Lanza. Selfless, committed, dedicated, and focused. An accomplished warfighter who has excelled in building partnerships with allied nations. And to quote Bob Brown, Steve's vision and inspirational leadership was the key to establishing an immensely effective operational level headquarters that plays an essential role in the Indo-Asia Pacific region. Steve Lanza has been equally inspiring in developing relationships with local communities and businesses, which has resulted in JBLM being a model for Soldier for Life programs for our Army. Steve's leadership has been essential also to all of the improvements we've seen across JBLM's training capabilities that makes it world-class. Joint Base Lewis McChord is a premier power projection platform and a readiness factory like no other in our Army. But today's ceremony is about more than just a farewell to Steve Lanza. The leaders and soldiers of the 1st Corps bid farewell to Team Lanza. Madeline, I want to publicly thank you for everything you've done for the soldiers and families of 1st Corps and JBLM. A tireless advocate and staunch supporter of military children and families, Madeline has spent countless hours in the community and school districts soliciting input from educators and community leaders on ways to improve the school system. Madeline has shown us an unwavering dedication as a mentor, advisor, and leader of family readiness groups, which are essential elements to our readiness. Madeline, thank you for your unwavering love, support, and commitment to soldiers and families throughout Steve's distinguished career. To their son, Raymond, thanks for being a great Army kid and your dad's biggest supporter. I know he is very proud of you. Steve, thank you. Thank you for all you've done leading 1st Corps and JBLM these past 3 years. And thank you also for a litany of substantial achievements over the last 15 years of conflict. Always the professional with a strong love for this country and the soldiers who defend it. Connie and I wish you both the very best as you embark on the next chapter of your lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the Lanza family. As we farewell one great Army family, we are proud to welcome another great one to JBLM. Gary and Leanne Volesky returned home to the Pacific Northwest. No strangers to the region. Many of you may not know that the Voleskys met one another on the campus of Eastern Washington University as ROTC cadets. The Voleskys just departed Fort Campbell, where Gary commanded the 101st Airborne Division, Air Assault. Gary is one of our most respected warfighters and trainers with a wealth of operational experience at every echelon. I'm confident he is the exact right leader to take 1st Corps and JBLM to even higher levels of success. Today, I deferred ceremonial honors to the soldiers and families of 1st Corps. It is they who shoulder the most load and continue to sacrifice all in service to our country. Our soldiers are our nation's best ambassadors, fit, tough, resilient, masters of their craft, dedicated to their unit and their fellow soldiers and families. We are fortunate to have such men and women who are willing to serve their country. George Orwell told us that we sleep soundly in our beds because rough men and women stand ready in the night to do violence on those who would do us harm. There are 180,000 U.S. Army soldiers forward stationed or deployed today around the world, standing watch so we can be safe. Please keep them and their families in your prayers. To the soldiers, civilians, and families of 1st Corps and Joint Base Lewis McChord, and our great Puget Sound, communities that support them. Thank you all for your doing service to our Army and this great nation. Freedom's Guardian.
Ladies and gentlemen, the former commander of America's First Corps, Lieutenant General Stephen R. Lanza.
I had to make sure I had the right speech. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for attending today's ceremony on this wonderful day. And I want to recognize our distinguished guests, our community leaders, all our retired senior leaders, family members that are here today. I also want to recognize my West Point classmates, pride and excellence for being here today. Thanks very much. To the band, thank you very much. The Salute Battery, as always, for adding a special touch of class to today's ceremony. And today, everyone's presence reminds us just how privileged we are to serve this remarkably supportive nation. Ladies and gentlemen, standing before you today are the soldiers of America's Corps. These soldiers and those they represent serve as the vanguard for our nation's freedom. They are innovative, resilient, professional, and more importantly, they stand ready to answer our nation's call. As General Abrams said, today's ceremony is about them and their amazing accomplishments. Their service, made possible by their friends and family who support them, honors the tradition of their predecessors, particularly those that made the ultimate sacrifice represented today by our Gold Star family members that are here. And ladies and gentlemen, I ask you one more time to join me in a round of applause for these magnificent men and women standing on the field before you today. It is also an honor to be in the presence of our retired general officers and command sergeant majors here today, whose mentorship and personal example typify what it means to be soldiers, sailors, and airmen for life. To General Abrams here today and General Brown, represented by General Flynn, former Tropic Lightning 6 from USARPAC, the Corps team of teams thrives thanks to your inspiring vision and steadfast support. And to General Abrams, sir, thank you for your leadership and your confidence in this wonderful Corps. Today, over 3,500 members of First Corps are currently deployed around the globe in harm's way, defending our freedom and our allies, and I'd ask that you remember them in your prayers today. And over the past 3 years, thousands more have embarked from JBLM in defense of freedom, including First Corps units, our Rangers, Special Forces, Night Stalkers, and the 7th Infantry Division headquarters, which deployed for the first time since Panama to Afghanistan. Others, enabled by our remarkable infrastructure here, are supporting real-world missions, providing capable support to our deployed warfighters. And soldiers throughout First Corps have also executed complex and innovative home station training to prepare for worldwide operations and have benefited from world-class training opportunities at our combat training centers. And together with our partners in the Washington National Guard, we've responded to crisis in OSO, built capacities in the Pacific, and have worked tirelessly to transform your formation into the Army's newest Stryker Brigade. As General Abrams alluded to, General Milley, our Chief of Staff, has said that readiness for ground combat is and will remain the Army's #1 priority. With that priority over the last 3 years, we've established readiness at every level, making sure the soldiers of America's Corps are ready to answer our nation's call. And today, First Corps stands ready to deploy, fight, and win, and we have built readiness as a combined arms team of teams, serving shoulder to shoulder with our partners and allies across the globe while supporting operations in Iraq, Afghanistan, Korea, Kosovo, Japan, and others, just to name a few, and throughout the Pacific. The team here on JBLM has reached new heights thanks in large part to a remarkable community that supports our soldiers and airmen. The governor's office, our senators and congressmen, local mayors, councilmen, universities, businesses, and community organizers nurture a community that welcomes our service members and their families, and that enables our veterans to transition into becoming permanent members of a vibrant community. I have served in many military communities in my career, and none compare to what you have built here in the Pacific Northwest, making JBLM one of the most desired assignments in the Army. Corps has also excelled at home and abroad thanks to the tireless efforts of our incredible leaders, committed to building trained and ready forces. Our deputy commanding generals, Major Generals Stammer, Fuller, and Dahl, applied their vast experience to refine and orchestrate a multitude of systems that have built and sustained readiness throughout the Corps. Our Deputy Commanding Generals from Canada, Brigadier Generals Turin and Fortin, provided invaluable leadership and ingenuity to generate shared understanding, enhance interoperability, and prepare our soldiers for combat operations throughout the Pacific. And our Corps Sergeants Majors, led by Command Sergeant Major Grinston, who was recently selected as the FORSCOM Sergeant Major, and Sergeant Major Norman, who is here today, have established and enforced standards Corps-wide, strengthening our NCO Corps, the bedrock of our Army that is revered by militaries around the world. And behind these efforts lie the 1st Corps staff that has operationalized readiness and provided our senior commanders with a deployable 3-star Joint Task Force headquarters. To the Chief, the spirit of teamwork from the staff has built trust spanning the joint interagency, multinational, and our total force. And in particular, our civilian workforce has kept this team grounded in best practices with their tremendous efforts. Thank you for your continued service and always placing the mission first. You have enabled our forces to provide a decisive action capability further and faster than ever before. In the last several years, Corps has broken new ground in developing innovative approaches to combined arms maneuver and multi-echelon training, preparing our soldiers for worldwide deployment. Leaders such as Brian Owens and the Arctic Warriors of Alaska, Tom James, Task Force Bayonet, Jack Haley with his Rest Assured soldiers, Chris Cavoli with his Tropic Lightning soldiers, and Jim Pascaret in U.S. Army Japan have always benefited from the selfless service of their remarkable deputy commanders and sergeants majors. Under their leadership, their soldiers have deployed around the globe and within the Pacific, putting a face behind the flag across 16 time zones with 36 partner nations. To the command teams on the field today, you have forged a remarkable team of teams and rekindled time-honored training techniques and created irreversible momentum that will build the readiness of our Army for years to come. The capabilities of these warrior commanders would not have been possible without the tremendous support of this tremendous joint base and our installation partners, including our tenant units here today in the 62nd Wing, remarkable soldiers, Marines, and airmen working with the Corps in training exercises and deployments around the world. They've created joint solutions and innovative techniques to mitigate risk and ensure our nation's defense in a complex, interconnected, and ever-changing environment. To our citizen soldiers here from the Washington Guard, the Red Bulls of the 34th Division, and the 40th Division from California, as well as the Cascade Rifles of the 81st Stryker Brigade, they complement our active component, yielding a total force that benefits from your invaluable experience and your commitment to service. And the joint team at the Garrison Headquarters has set the standard for the Department of Defense to ensure our soldiers and airmen, now connected by the Unity Bridge, benefit from the best training facilities and the most supportive community imaginable. Thanks to you, JBLM is recognized as America's premier joint base and power projection platform. Now today we add a new chapter in the proud history of 1st Corps, and I am extremely proud and excited to pass the reins to a tremendous and superb leader and Army family. To Gary, Leanne, and Alex, welcome back to Washington and welcome home. Gary will take this team to new heights. He is a proven combat leader, most recently answering our nation's call with his division, the 101st, in Operation Inherent Resolve. Gary, you unquestionably have the right attributes and experience to lead this formation, and I know our soldiers will welcome you with open arms. I truly wish Team Volesky all the best as you assume the mantle of Courage 6 and compose the next centennial chapter in the legacy of 1st Corps. And now last and most importantly, I want to thank my wife, Madeline. I've been able to serve proudly because you have been my rock and my foundation. I am so grateful to have made this journey with you, and I love you, honey, very much. Your unwavering support, compassion, and leadership, as demonstrated by your embrace of our Courage and JBLM soldiers and their families, continues to fuel my passion to serve. You do it all with tremendous poise and grace, and you and Raymond are truly the best of Team Lanza. I would like to thank my parents that are here today, Ray and Marie, who travel from New York, as well as my Uncle Phil, Aunt Laura, and goddaughter Karen for their love, support, and the dedication to our family. Your presence today makes this change of command unforgettable, and I thank you very much. For nearly a century, 1st Corps has answered our nation's call, defeating our adversaries in combat, responding to crisis and natural disasters, enhancing global prosperity, and strengthening partnerships with our nation's most steadfast partners. The resilience, preparedness, and professionalism of our courage soldiers prove that when we all work together as a team, we can accomplish anything. I am confident that this team is ready to accomplish whatever challenges lie ahead. It has been my greatest honor and privilege to serve with this Corps and community. Thank you all for your commitment to our nation and to each other. I look forward to seeing the soldiers and leaders of First Corps continue their success in the future. May God bless you, this great Army, the United States of America. Army strong, freedom's guardian, one team, courage. Thank you very much. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of America's First Corps, Lieutenant General Gary J. Volesky.
Hey, thank you. Being originally from Washington State and having the opportunity to serve again at JBLM is like winning the lottery. In 1986, when Leanne and I came to what was then Fort Lewis, and only our second assignment, we thought this Army gig was pretty cool. And over the course of our career, we'd clearly get back to Fort Lewis at least 3 or 4 more times. Well, that's the ignorance of youth. For the past 30 years, we've been assigned never to a unit to the west of Texas. So excuse my exuberance when I say it is great to be home. Distinguished guests, friends, families, the delegation from Eastern Washington University, our great Army civilian professionals, most importantly, the servicemen and women of America's Joint Base. Thank you for attending our ceremony today. I'd like to thank General Abrams for hosting our ceremony and his kind words. Sir, I've been honored to serve with you in some of the most critical and formative times in my Army career, and having you today is more than I could have asked for. Thanks for what you do for our Army and our soldiers every single day. I'm proud to serve with you. I want to thank General Lanza for not only the best transition I've had, but also thank Steve for his friendship and counsel over the past 11 years. I met General Lanza when he was a DeVarty commander in the 1st Cavalry Division and then followed him as a Chief of Army Public Affairs a few years later. Steve's prepared this Corps magnificently for whatever mission they've executed over the past 3 years, while ensuring all of our units, service members, and families at JBLM got the outstanding support they deserve. I also want to thank Madeline for all she's done in helping soldiers and their families during her time not only here, but over the years in our Army. Team Lanza has established a superb legacy, and Leanne and I are humbled to follow this great team. As you all know, America's First Corps is a Corps with a storied history, and I'm proud to help write another chapter in it. I've had the honor of serving in combat both in Iraq and Afghanistan under the First Corps, and I've seen firsthand the standard of excellence this Corps is known for. As the only Army Corps assigned to the combatant commander, we will make sure we are ready now to execute our mission anywhere in the Pacific. But because of increasing Army requirements that have resulted in First Corps units deploying to the Middle East, America's First Corps will be ready to deploy, fight, and win decisively in any environment to achieve our national objectives. Our inspired leaders, service members, and civilian professionals will be renowned for their mental and physical toughness, their unwavering character, competence, and commitment to our team, which is a team that will take care of one another, is strengthened by our families, and a superb partner with our community. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Leanne, for volunteering for another tour in our Army. Lee, you've been with me every step of the way for the past 34 years, and you know there's no way I could do this without you. I dig you, baby. Thank you again for attending our ceremony today. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless America's First Corps. One team, one fight, freedom's guardian, Army strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Sergeant First Class Julio Vasquez from the Salute Battery will now present a shell casing fired during today's ceremony to Lieutenant General Lanza in honor of the soldiers and families of First Corps.
Sound, attention. Sound, detachment post, march.
and review.
Pass and review.
Passing by the review and stand is the Chief of Staff for First Corps, Colonel Joseph D. Morrow. The G1 for First Corps is Colonel Michael McGregor. The G2 for First Corps is Colonel Christiana L. Block. The G3 for First Corps is Colonel Christopher W. Windley. The G4 for First Corps is Colonel Timothy P. White. The commander of the 56th Army Band is Chief Warrant Officer 4 Russell J. Hauser. The drum major is Sergeant First Class Philip Andrew. The commander of the 7th Infantry Division Bayonets is Major General Thomas S. James, Jr. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Jack H. Love. The commander for 1st Stryker Brigade, 2nd Infantry Division is Lieutenant Colonel Dean Mitchell. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Cornell Ellis. The commander for 2nd Stryker Brigade is 2nd Infantry Division. The command is Colonel Jerry A. Turner. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Ronald Graves. The commander for 81st Stryker Brigade is Colonel Brian J. Grinnan. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Alfonso V. Cadena. The commander of 2nd Infantry Division Artillery is Colonel David S. Pierce. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Donald W. Ferguson II. The commander for 16th Combat Aviation Brigade Rear is Lieutenant Colonel Buck Soretti. The Command Sergeant Major is Sergeant Major Frederick Jordan. The commander for 17th Field Artillery Brigade is Colonel Andrew C. Gainey. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Joe B. Winstead III. The commander for 555th Engineer Brigade is Colonel Larry F. Dillard. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Stephen Tetriol. The commander for the 201st Expeditionary Military Intelligence Brigade is Colonel Constantine E. Nicolette. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Dorothy Hernandez. The commander of the 25th Infantry Division, Tropic Lightning, is Major General Christopher G. Cavoli. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Scott A. Burzak. The commander of the United States Army Alaska is Major General Brian R. Owens. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Michael A. Ferrucci. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and render honors for the passing of the national colors. The commander of the 1st Corps Forward is Major General James F. Pasquarette. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Richard R. Clark. The commander of the Regional Health Command Pacific is Brigadier General Ronald J. Stevens. The Sergeant Major is Sergeant Major Kesha R. White. The commander of Madigan Army Medical Center is Colonel Michael Place. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Horson Tyson. The commander of DENTAC is Colonel Sean Babby. The Command Sergeant Major is First Sergeant Terrence Mitchell. The commander of the 593rd Expeditionary Sustainment Command is Brigadier General John F. Haley. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Pamela K. Williams. The commander of the 42nd Military Police Brigade is Colonel Christopher A. Burns. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Brian Flom. The commander of the 62nd Medical Brigade is Colonel Robert T. Florston. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Cindy Holt. The commander for the 1st Special Forces Group is Colonel Will Beaupere. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Shane Shorter. The commander of the 189th Infantry Brigade is Colonel Jim Eisenhauser. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Thomas Kenny. The commander of the 6th Military Police Group Criminal Investigation Division is Colonel Dietrich L. Briscoe. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Arthur R. Williams. The commander of 8th Senior Reserve Officer Training Corps is Colonel John Tussey. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Timothy Merble. The commander of the Joint Base Garrison is Colonel Daniel S. Morgan. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Richard Mulryan. The commander of the 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment is Lieutenant Colonel Ken Burgess. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major Adam Nash. The commander of 4th Battalion, 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment is Lieutenant Colonel Michael Montmanion. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major William Herring. The commander of the Special Troops Battalion for 1st Corps is Lieutenant Colonel James Byrd. The Command Sergeant Major is Command Sergeant Major James House. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the singing of the 1st Corps and Army songs. The words can be found in your program. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. General and Miss Lanza will remain in front of the reviewing area for those wishing to say farewell. Have a wonderful 1st Corps day.
Which Creighton name? Okay. I got an older brother named Creighton too. Yeah, I do.
Start from your chat. Sergeant Major, good luck. Thanks.
Okay. Absolutely. Mine too. Absolutely. Good to meet you. Thank you.
Hi, how are you, young lady? Oh, nice to see you. A year or two. You all are looking younger than ever. He's something, isn't he? Well, I'm glad you're still so in the street. The next thing you
Way to go.
All the time, those flags.
Thanks, Charlie. All the best. Congratulations on the wedding and everything. Good luck, brother. Be good. I'll see you. Yes, sir. General, good seeing you. Thanks very much. Hi.
Hi.
Tell Roy I said hi. Thanks for your support. Look forward to seeing you guys. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Congratulations. Proud of you guys. Thanks for all your support, your leadership. Okay. Stay in touch. See you on high ground. Nice ceremony today. Okay. Good luck. Stay in touch. Sure will, sir. We're doing good, right? Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's not good luck. Tell Jen hi. Okay. Thanks. Thanks very much. Congratulations. All the best. How we doing? Good, sir. Great. You guys are so nice for coming. Thank you. We're going to miss you guys. Sure. Thanks for being a good partner. Good seeing you. Yeah. Thanks for your work. We'll see you. Thank you so much. Good seeing you. Thank you very much. Thanks for all your support.
Congratulations.
Oh, from General, oh my gosh. Oh, thank you very much. Here, let's go this way. Thank you. Please tell General Ulm I said hi. Thank you very much. Tell General Ulm I said hi. Thank you. Good seeing you. Thank you very much. Same here. Same here. Good luck at UFG. Be there in spirit. Take care, brother. Thanks for the leadership. Good luck to you guys. If you ever need anything, let me know. Okay, stay in touch. Stay in touch. Jerry, put it in the good. Thanks. Well, if you want to, I'll make sure. Take care. Yeah, we'll be helpful. Thank you. That's very nice. Thanks very much. All the best. Good luck to you. Okay. All right. Thanks. Sir, thanks. Good luck to you. Okay. You still have my coin? Yes. All right. Good. Yes, he does. Thanks. Come on, bud. All the best to you. Good luck. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Oh, you're so
So, Major, good luck. Okay. Thanks for everything. Do we march, okay? I love you guys. Stay in touch.
Thank you.
Let us know when the wedding is. Hey, I saw the photo, man. I saw the photo.
Good for a while.
He may already be. Well, it'll be good. If you need anything, let me know. Thanks for
Thank you for everything. So enjoyed this. Absolutely.
Bye, son. Thanks for everything. All the best to you guys. Get your sister. See you at the next one, okay? See you at the next one. I ain't done eating. Same here.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming. Tell Tony how you guys are wonderful. Okay? We'll see you guys. Thanks for everything. Absolutely.
Always.
Good luck to you guys. We'll see you. We'll see you at Bellman. We'll see you in a lacrosse game or basketball or something. You better. Well, you better. There's certain areas you don't want to rent. I know. We're looking. You better ask me first. Because
This is awesome. We're definitely. Because that's the others. Other locations.
Thanks for your leadership. Thanks for all your support.
Where?
Thanks very much. All the best to you guys. Okay, thanks for everything.
Okay, send your text right now sometime. Oh, okay. Got it.
Good to see you. Thanks for everything. We'll see you. Sir, thanks.
Okay.
See if hamsters. Oh, okay. We'll see you around. You need anything, let me know. Stay in touch, okay? Stay in touch.
Well, thank you.
George. Oh, that's right. Good. Congratulations. Yep. We'll see you guys. Yeah, we will. All right, thanks.
But you're not homeless yet.
No.
We never got those stupid things fixed.
What stupid things fixed?
Only the guys behind me.
It's good seeing you. Thanks for everything. All the best to you.
Okay.
What you're doing. Thanks. She loved it. Congratulations. Where are you guys? Best of luck. Congratulations to you guys. Wish you all the best. Sir, thank you. I'll be talking to you. Congratulations. Tuesday and him getting together with you. So thank you for everything. Stay in touch if I can help in any way.
Absolutely. So I'll see you next week, sir. Thank you. Congratulations.
Bye, Renee. Yeah. Congratulations. All the best to you and Dave. You guys are awesome. Thanks. So amazing. Thanks. Good luck to you. Okay. Thanks. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Hey, sir. Ron, how are we doing? All the best, Dave. Stay in touch. All right. Take care. Good luck. Sure. Congratulations. Okay. Proud of you. Good kicks. Good kicks. All right. Thanks.
Godspeed.
Hi, Beth. How are you? Good seeing you. How are you? Good. Good. I look forward to chatting. Thanks. Thanks. Oh my God. Oh, good seeing you. How you been? Good seeing you. Thanks for everything. Thanks. So Major, good seeing you. Thanks very much. Oh. Thanks. All the best to you and your family. Thanks for everything. Oh my gosh. Good seeing you. Thanks for everything. Good luck to you, okay? Thanks. Thanks. You're awesome. Thanks. How you doing? Good seeing you. Thanks for everything. How you feeling? Good. You look great. You look great. Thanks. Lars, thanks, brother. Yes, sir. Thanks. Stay in touch. We'll be around. We'll be around. We'll be around. Thanks. Thanks. Good seeing you. Thanks for everything. Thanks, brother. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Thanks for everything. All the best to you guys. Okay, thanks. Chief, God bless you. Thanks. You're awesome. You're a hero. Thanks very much. Good seeing you. Thanks very much. 10 and 5. It's good. Tell your godfather I said hi. Tell him to join me. No, I didn't say a word. Thanks very much. Congratulations. Congratulations to you guys. Okay, all the best to you, okay? We'll see you around, okay? We'll see you around. Jeff, thanks for everything. All the best. Thanks. Thanks. Good to see you. Thanks very much. Thanks for all your support. Well, we're here. Thanks. We'll see you. Thanks very much. Thanks for sending Are you staying here? Okay, good. Oh, it's good seeing you guys. Congratulations. Good luck in command. All the best. And let me know. Proud of you. Thanks. Take care, Tom. All the best to you. Good luck. Okay, thanks. Good luck. Go kick some ass. You will. Danny, thanks very much. Be good, Johnny. Tell her I said hi. I'll see you at the gym. Good seeing you. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Yeah, you don't want it.
Nice meeting you now. Thank you.
Hey, Bonnie, good seeing you. Thanks very much. All the best. Okay, thanks very much. Thanks. Thanks. Sir, thanks very much for coming to us. Thanks for everything.
We've been looking for Carter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I will. Thanks. Hey, Oscar.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming. Thanks very much.
What does that mean?
Thanks very much for coming. Love you guys. Thank you. You got heels on. You get stuck. Thanks very much. Just different times. Yes, sir. Thanks very much.
All right, so send me that.
Thank you.
Please send me that picture so I can sign these chairman's guys are awesome.
Thanks so much. Chief, thanks very much for coming. Really appreciate it. Tell the chief I said I really appreciate it. Thanks very much. Absolutely. Thank you. Sir, congratulations. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Congratulations, sir. Really appreciate it. We have you very much. Thank you very much.
Here, Representative President Council, thanks so much for everything.
Hi, and thank you very much.
So easy to be, and hopefully we'll see some more of you.
I hope so. Give her my best. Thanks very much.
Congratulations on all your accomplishments.
Congratulations, sir. Thanks, sir.
I want to try the FAO test. All right. If you need anything, let me know. Wish you all the best. Good meeting. Thanks for everything. Good luck to you. Thanks.
Sir, thank you.
Thanks very much for coming. Thank you very much. Jen? Kind of. Very much for coming. Congratulations on command. Thank you. I wish you all the best. Thanks for all the meetings. Thanks.
Best of luck to you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Sir, I've been warned to tell you you have to stop by Storage and say goodbye to the road.
Thanks very much. All you've done in the division. Congratulations. Well, sir, Mike, take care, brother. Yes, sir. Be good. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Congratulations to you. All the best to you, okay? Thank you, sir. Doc, take care, brother. Be good. Thanks for everything. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Wait, we gotta get a photo.
So this is from Major General Kimura.
Oh my gosh. Tell him we're gonna sing next time, okay? Tell him I look forward to seeing you.
So the picture from a GSO.
Oh my gosh.
The second one is from General Ogawa.
Oh my.
Western Up.
Oh my gosh. You guys are just too good.
This is news from news.
Oh, news.
News.
Oh my gosh.
And then that one is
Oh my gosh. Whiskey.
Japanese whiskey.
Yes, there you go. Tell everybody there, General Kabe, Ogawa, the whole team. Please tell them I said hi. You guys are magnificent. I look forward to seeing you in Japan. Thank you very much for coming out.
Please come to Japan.
Send me a note. I'd love to
in the
come
future.
visit. I'd
Sorry.
love to come visit. Thank you very much. Now, you remember my Sergeant Major from the first time? Yes! Sergeant Major Norman. Yes, sir. You remember Sergeant Major Norman? I know you do, Sergeant Major. I do. Of course, yes. He's the groceries. Thanks for everything. Holy shit. How's your hand doing? I'll still be